If you're watching this, congratulations. That means you have watched the previous videos and you've watched the first 3 videos where we talked about your strategy and why you are not as profitable as you would like to be. And if you watched it, hopefully you understand and are considering that you need to change your strategy, right? In the second video, we talked about the 5 forces that you compete against, right? And why your strategy is not helping to beat against those 5 forces, right? Meaning if you're doing $1 million in revenue, your strategy currently is not helping you get to 5 million. Or if you're doing $500,000, that same strategy, it needs to be looked at, consider some change to get to $1 million. And then in the third video, I showed you guys how we beat those 5 forces. I showed you guys some things that you could take away, implement right now, and help you get to where you want to go by leveraging certain strategies and tactics to beat the 5 forces and to win your profitability, right? And now today we're going to be talking about how we're able to do that, right? The big question on a lot of you guys' mind is, well, Michael, how do you know who is actively in market looking to pursue a purchase of what I sell? How do you know who is looking for the outcome that our product or service provides? So we're going to be talking about exponential growth, and we're going to be talking about 4 things that are structurally changing the way that we market and advertise. Okay. If you can remember Kodak, they failed to hop on the digital train. If you remember Borders, which was a bookstore, put out of business. Kodak put out of business. If you remember Blockbuster, put out of business. They did not keep up with the structural change. Okay. Whether you know it or not, whether you like it or not, things are moving to digital. The internet, online, is the way of the future. The fundamentals of marketing and advertising and sales have not changed. It's still all about providing value, educating individuals, getting them to understand your value proposition, educating them to become a smart buyer, and being top of mind when they are ready to say yes and make a purchase. The mediums and the way that we do these fundamentals have changed structurally, and will continue to change structurally, right? Before it was print ads, right? Then it was electronic mail. Before that, we did email. Before print ads, we did telephone, right? The way that we are able to reach the market has changed, right? And these 4 things are sensors, networks, infinite computing, and AI, or artificial intelligence, machine learning. Okay. Now, what I mean by this is because of all of this new technology and the exponential growth at which that technology produces even better technology is changing at a rapid speed. And we're able to do things that before now, some people would have thought it to be science fiction. Okay. What we do is we are able to identify buying behavior. We are able to identify individuals by their behavior that are looking to make a purchase. Michael, how do you do that? First thing I want to talk about is sensors. We are in a sensor-based economy. There are billions of sensors in the economy right now, and it's projected to be a trillion sensor economy within the next 2 to 3 years. You can research this. Gartner, all of the high-end consulting firms are talking about this. What are sensors? Sensors are widgets or data points that are able to collect information: temperature, speed, patterns, buying behavior, traffic, what have you, keyword search, content consumption, social media presence, anything online is digitalized and can be measured with sensors. All right. The The next is networks, right? Networks are infrastructures that are being built that allow us to access and create more sensors. All right. So think of Facebook as a network, right? It's a medium where millions and millions of consumers go and aggregate and hang out. And Facebook has millions and millions of sensors collecting data, like buttons, share buttons, geosensing, emotional. How do you feel? What product or service that you liked? What reviews did you give it? What did you share on your profile? These are all networks. Twitter, Google, Alcom. All of these big companies are building networks and communities to allow as a traffic system or a web system that allows us to collect data from the sensors. All right. Infinite computing. Basically, what infinite computing is that the ability at which these systems, computers, and iPhones are being created, it's basically computers creating computers at a faster rate. So in the past, when we had a Walkman, right, we couldn't see an iPhone with music on it, because back then, the next step from the Walkman was every time a newer product came out, it wouldn't change dramatically, maybe 5%. But as we continue to advance in our technology, the iPhone that you have today is able to perform better and even be created faster because of the previous iPhone, because it's machines building machines, computers building computers, and it's exponential. It's going at a faster rate, meaning it's 1, 2, 4, 16, 32. Okay. Next, we have AI, or machine learning, or artificial intelligence. Now, because we have billions and billions of sensors throughout the economy, and because we have these networks set up to transmit this data and this information, and we have infinite computing that can go online and generate and, extract and, do all of these things with this information, with this insight, which is data times data that gives you insight. We're able to now leverage artificial machine learning to be able to predict patterns. All right. This isn't science fiction. This isn't something new that I'm bringing to the market. These are things that are happening right now. Okay. Now, when you throw in exponential growth, most of the times we don't understand what exponential means, right? Most of the times we think of linear growth, right? Meaning if someone tells me to take 30 steps, I take 1 step, I take 2 steps, I take 3 steps, I take 4 steps, I take 5 steps until I get to 30 linear steps, right? Again, when we looked at the Walkman, we couldn't see an iPhone or an iPad or an MP3 player, right? Because we had linear thinking, we had limited technology, okay? With the technology that we have now, things are moving at exponential growth. So if you take 30 exponential steps, you easily get to 1 billion. You guys all see that. 1 equals 2 equals 4 equals 8 equals 16 equals 32. So if we now can move in exponential rate because we have faster technology that can build faster technology, this is why we're able to move into a $1 trillion sensor economy that provides data, ones and zeros, that can be tracked, that can be put into machine learning, that can quickly learn patterns, right? So all we did really is we're looking at behavior, buying behavior, right? Everything now can be digitized, right? Anything can be represented in ones and zeros becomes digitized. So information-based technology, and when you enter in exponential growth, right, we can look at music patterns, right? This is what Pandora does, right? When you identify a music or an artist that you like, Pandora uses AI, artificial intelligence, and machine learning, and says, okay, based on thousands of other people who have liked that, they most likely like this. And if you don't like that, they say, okay, out of the people who like this song but didn't like this song, most of them like this, right? Biotechnology, buying behavior, right? This is all information that is now digitized, right? Now, remember we talked about exponential growth, sensors, networks, infinite computing, and AI machine learning, right? This is how we are, and this is why so many companies are investing in big data, machine learning, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, right? Now, remember, a sensor is a device that detects information, temperature, vibration, radiation, URL navigation, keyword search. And a network is what a sensor is connected to in order to transmit the data, right? And again, these are companies that are building this every day. Project Loon, Aquila, Qualcomm, XPRIZE. The future of sensors and networks is the Internet of Things. And you guys being in this industry, software and information technology, some of you guys are in the space. You guys understand the Internet of Things, right? The iWatch, my air conditioner is on Wi-Fi, my microwave, my dishwasher, my laundry detergent, my Tesla, my automated cars, my navigation system, the navigation within my phone. These are all sensors that are connected to networks that are collecting our data and our information on a daily basis. Billions and billions of information. And what we do is we leverage that data, right? We have access to this data. We've built relationships and we buy this data. We buy raw data sets in real time on a daily basis. We are getting billions and billions of behavior data on individuals on a daily basis. And we aggregate it and we identify those individuals who are showing buying behavior in real time. So when I approach you and I say, do you know who is actively pursuing a purchase of what you sell? And you say no. And I say, well, I do. And not only do I know who is actively pursuing the outcome of your solutions and your services, but I know them by name, right? And this is very, very powerful. And it's only going to get bigger. It is only going to get bigger. And if you aren't taking advantage of this technology, you will be Kodak. You will be Blockbuster. Okay. So when you look at the marketplace, right? So, and you're looking at this picture and you're trying to identify, okay, who is showing what demographic, right? That's the idea. What demographic out there would be most likely interested in my services and my products, right? Well, I'm going to ask you a question. I want you to look at this. This is the marketplace. This is a representative of the marketplace, right? Now, remember how we tend to advertise now, most of us, right? We're looking for that needle in a haystack, okay? And I want you to take a good look at this picture, right? Now, how many were red? Now, this is what we do on an everyday basis, most of us, right? We look out into the marketplace and we're trying to figure out who is red or how many are red. Now, you could guess, right? And you may guess out of 50, you may guess 2. But what about when there's thousands? What about when there's millions? Right? And if you watch the other videos, we talked about this. Business success and success in life is often knowing something that others do not know. All right. So when you look in the marketplace right now and you go out and try to find your ideal prospect, this is what you see. When we go into the marketplace and we look for our ideal prospects, this is what we see. We know exactly who the red buyers are. We know who is in market actively looking to purchase what you sell. All right. Now, the way that we do that is by three ways. All right. And it's called in-market targeting. All right. And we talked about this before. We have in-market leads, right? These are the individuals who are actively pursuing a purchase of what you sell. And they are going online and they are educating themselves about their problem, right? They're becoming aware. Once they move from the awareness state, they then move into the consideration state where they start reaching out and looking for other individuals who can solve that problem. And if you aren't marketing to them, if you don't know who they are, if you're wasting your profits trying to find the needle in the haystack. While we are only getting in front of starting that conversation, building trust, educating them to be smart consumers, we now have what's called in-funnel leads. And an in-funnel lead is 10 times better than an in-market lead. And an in-funnel lead is an active person who's actively pursuing a purchase from you. Someone who's in your funnel, someone who's interacting with your website, considering you and your services. Whether or not they opt in, right now I can tell you, if you have traffic coming to your website, I can tell you almost 50% of that traffic, who they are by name. All right. And then the next one is what we call a lookalike match. So what we do is we take our in-market leads and we take our in-funnel leads and we load them into Google or Facebook, and we have those platforms give us a lookalike match. So if I load in 40,000 individuals who are showing the strong propensity to purchase your services, Facebook is going to give me about 2 million people who look just like them, because Facebook has an algorithm, a system that can identify and infinitely compute millions and millions and millions of data points to figure out these are the individuals who look just like those individuals, right? That is in-market targeting. Whether or not you work with us, this is being done today. And if you don't figure out how to do this for your business is not going to be around very much longer, because we are doing this right now. And to be competitive in this marketplace, you need to have a competitive advantage. Now, if we are both doing or selling IT managed services in Florida, but I can acquire a customer at 75% lower than you can, eventually I'm going to eat out your market share. Again, because while you're marketing to the haystacks, we're marketing to the needles. Okay? We know exactly who the individuals are who are looking to purchase from you. Okay? That 3% in the marketplace who is looking to buy. This is our technology. In-market targeting, in-funnel leads, platform lookalike match. If this makes sense to you, feel free to reach out and see how we can discuss and leverage this for your business.